everyone. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are watching God, Sex, and Love. And today, I'm going to be on the hot seat. Yes, your girl Miracle Sims is going to be on the hot seat discussing a film that I am in. It's called Strip. And so, yeah, if you want to learn more about that, maybe my process or anything you might want to know about my involvement in this film, then stay tuned.
Where's your dignity? You're a slut!
No, I'm not a slut!
It's irreparable!
I'm not a slut! Hello everyone, welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. As promised, it is time for your girl, me, Miracle Sims, to be on the hot seat. I have two awesome panelists that are going to be asking the tough questions today. First, let me give it up for Miss Melva Reed. She's back. So hello, Miss Melva Reed.
Hello.
I'm excited to have you back. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. All right, and last but not least, let me introduce this gentleman for the very first time. One of my best friends, one of my home slice confidants. Give it up for Mr. Kelvin Carter. Hey, bro.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Yeah, I'm excited to have you here. Finally, man. Long time coming. Long time.
I know it worked, as you know. But I am glad to be here so I could jump in on the conversation, and hopefully there'll be many more times you all will get a chance to see me.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. So as you guys both know, I am in my first lead role in a feature film. The film Strip. I know we just shared a clip of the film, so you were able to see that and everything like that. And so I guess I'm gonna hush. I'm gonna let you guys run the show. Y'all can ask the questions, and we can have a whole conversation about this endeavor. So hot seat, it's hot.
All right, so Ms. Mill, are you gonna take it away?
So, as a Christian woman with a husband and a handsome little fellow, how did you feel doing that role? I mean, I want you to really tell me, how hard was it for you to do that role?
We'll do. So, well, to be completely honest, so first thing, when I first signed up for the role, I was not a mother. I was a wife, but I was not a mother. So that was one thing. So I will say, by the time Little Man came to picture, so throughout filming the role, because it took maybe like 2 years to film this movie. So in the midst of that, I did become pregnant, so it got very interesting filming with me and fluctuating sizes and stuff like that. And then I would say, like, when I ended up filming the last few scenes, it did feel a little different. Now, I don't know if it was because I was a mom now, or maybe because my body, maybe I felt subconscious about that. But I will say that, like, when I first came on, it felt different. Like, once my son was born, being involved did feel a little different. And it could be for one of those two reasons I just shared with you. I'm not sure why, but one of those two reasons was why. In regards to my husband, okay, so here's the thing about him. Before I even auditioned for the role, I consulted with him. I let him know that, well, okay, so let me just explain the process, how it went. I came across the audition once, and then I saw, like, we're looking for petite, dark skin, can play 20s, like all the things that describe me, right? And then it said nudity, and I was like, never mind, and I just kind of passed it up. But then I want to say maybe some weeks later, I saw the same audition again, but like on a totally different site or something like that. And so for me, when things like that happen, for me, those are like signs to kind of look into it, whether it's someone giving me the same advice from two different places, or whether I'm seeing something like that, or whatever the case was. So when I saw it again, I started to kind of think about it like, it is pretty much describing my character, which is that's one thing. Like, you don't really see a lot of lead roles for women my type, which is, I mean, when you're independent, I'll put it like that. When you're an independent actor, you don't really see that a lot. So to see a casting say, hey, we're straight up looking for a woman that looked like me, is pretty rare, is what I'm saying. So when I saw it, and then I saw it twice and everything like that, I just was like, starting to get more intrigued about it, started to look more into it. And so that's when I started to have the conversations with him, because I was like, hey, so I came across this audition, what do you think, you know, and everything like that. So he shared his thoughts with me, and but at the same time, he just was like, well, you know, he supports me. And so what I prayed about it and everything like that, and then I felt kind of led to just go ahead and just audition, because at the end of the day, my whole thing is like, as an actor, I'm like, okay, I don't want to limit myself. I'm already limited as an actor, okay? Being my type, you know, being who I am, I'm already limited. So for me to limit myself further just because it has nudity or whatever the case is, for me, I just was like, well, I'm just gonna audition. We'll see where it goes. It might not even go anywhere, because honestly, that's how it's been. It's like, you audition, you might not even hear back. So, I mean, I did ended up getting a call back, and so I had to do. I was sending in videos at the time, so I sent in, like, I think I had to send in 2 videos, and then I was asked to send a 3rd video, and then I sent that, and then I didn't hear from the project for like months. And then like months later, when the director offered me the role, then I had asked all the questions, like all the stuff I kind of put to the side for the audition. And I was like, okay, so what is the nudity? Like, what are you looking to do? Like, and everything like that. And so then once I did that, I had a chance to read the entire script. And honestly, that's what did it for me. Reading the script and seeing the story behind, like, what was going on between the daughter and her father, what's going on between the girl and her friends, you know, the story itself is what intrigued and made me sign on. And then
so, I'm gonna stop you, because I'm gonna ask you this question. What did your mom think?
So that's the other. So, and honestly,
you told her what you were getting ready to do. What did your mom say?
So that was the other.
Because I'm a mama. And yeah, I would be like, what? Nudity? Who? You? No, you can't.
So she's the other person I talked to as well. So now the thing about her, which I offered her to be on here. So hey, mom, we shouting you out right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying business today. But so the thing about her, like, I think when I was explaining some of the scenes, because there was like there's a love scene and things like that, I think she was kind of concerned, because I think she might have thought that it was going to be actual sex. And I'm like, no, mom. Like, it's not actual sex. It's just a simulation. It's going to look like it, but it's just not, you know what I mean? So I had to kind of explain that part and stuff. But, I mean, I believe she had her concerns and things as well. But, I mean, she just mostly was talking about that, the sex scene, the love scene or whatever, when I discussed that with her. Yeah, I mean, I know she has her thoughts about it, and like I said, I mean, I can't speak all the way what she may feel and everything, but I know she said she's definitely gonna watch it, which is the opposite of my husband. He's like, he's not gonna watch it. So
it would probably be hard for him to watch that.
Yeah, and I get it. I totally understand. I mean, it's still kind of disappointing, because I'm like, you know, it's my first, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, but I still understand. And
well, maybe you can edit and cut out the sex scenes and the nudity scenes and just your strips where you're actually literally talking. Let him see that part.
Right. If she gives me access, if the director gives me access, then yeah, we'll just like some and stuff.
Okay, I don't have any more questions. I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead, you got to go that man.
All right. So my question is, being a fellow actor, and knowing the process, like, what was your process to get ready for this character?
To be honest, I would say the character's mindset was probably the hardest thing for me to balance with, more so than the nudity part. Like, yeah, the nudity was awkward, and but again, the nudity is done in ways where it's movie magic, y'all. So it's gonna look like I'm naked, or fully naked, or whatever the case is. But of course, it with angles and coverage, and then understanding as well that some of these scenes I was pregnant and showing. So obviously, you know what I mean. We gotta finagle it and make it look like I'm not, So, but yeah, more so than the nudity scenes and things like that, the girl's mindset, the character's mindset is just, it was not say difficult, but I know it was that request that the director kind of requested me to kind of stay in it sometimes, and I can do that, but my thing is like the way I perform, I tend to do my thing, perform, and then I tend to separate myself because I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? And for me to stay in the mindset of this depressed girl was heavy. Like, I want to say my first few times doing it, I just really felt this heavy cloud over my head, because the girl, the character's very, she's depressed. She, ends up with a bit of PTSD to an end. And, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff going on in her mental that is I think is good as an actor to be able to do roles like this, and have the opportunity to portray a character like this, but at the same time knowing that, because at one point, like, the director wanted to keep me like separate from the rest of the people, and that was weird for me too, because it's like I want to talk to people, I'm getting to know new people, I'm working in scenes with people I don't know, and when you're the lead of something, I feel like whatever energy you bring to the set is going to like transfer between everybody else. So if I'm going to bring a negative or I'm a diva energy to a set, then I feel like that's just going to translate to everybody else, and then they're going to have this like negative, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to do that with people. These people don't know me. It'd be different if it's like, me and Kelvin, and then I got to stay in the scene, and then I'm, treat him some kind of way. He already understands, like, me and him, we know each other already. But for me to be, meeting people and then having to kind of be in this negative attitude, on set, and then, that was the part, because at the same time I wanted to be like, hey, nice to meet you, I know we just did this crazy thing, but hi, I want to at least smile at you, because I don't even think, like, you might not see the character smile, like, that's where she's at, you know what I mean? So yeah, that part was interesting, being in this character's mindset. Yeah, that was probably the hardest part for me. And then I would say probably the nudity stuff. What else y'all got? What you got? What you got?
How long? So how long did it take you to learn the moves? Because I was looking at you in one of the videos you just showed. It just looks like you just felt like awkward. Did you feel awkward in doing that, trying to learn how to dance on a pole and flip and turn? I don't know if that's what you're doing in the scene, but I mean, like, when I see the word strip, it's like, okay, is she gonna be on the pole flipping, turning upside down? I mean, what is she gonna be doing?
Not the flip and turning.
So here's the funny, or the thing about it is, like, the character, she is I guess what they would call like an amateur or whatever like that, and so you're not gonna see her flipping on. I'm sorry if I'm spoiler alert, you're not gonna see her on the pole much, or anything like that. So honestly, I only had like one or 2 days with the choreographer, but then we were kind of just going over like general moves. It wasn't like any for real choreography. It was just more so, here's some moves that you can do when you're doing the scenes where I'm supposed to be a little bit more experienced. But the scene that you saw is like literally the character that's introducing me into the lifestyle. She's kind of like teaching me some of her stuff and some of her tricks and things like that, or teaching my character some of those moves and stuff. So if it's awkward, then that's exactly how it's supposed to be, because this girl, the character that I'm playing, this is her first time ever in this whole situation. And I think that's why I kept my mind free of that too, because I want to say my only quote unquote experience with stripping or whatever was probably like taking the pole dancing class for my bachelorette party, which that barely was anything. I don't remember nothing from that. And then I went to a male review with my sister for her bachelorette party, but that was the only experiences with strip clubs that I had before this film, or stripping, you know. And so, and I could have done a little bit more research, but because my character was going to be new to it, I didn't. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay new to it, so then that way everything stays fresh. So it's very fun. I mean, of course I can pretend as if I've never been in a strip club before, but when we got the scene where I'm actually going into the strip club and she's walking me in and she's looking around and that's probably all real reactions, because you know what I mean, that was probably my first time really in one, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So what you got, bro? What you got?
Okay, so what I have for you, so we're gonna dig a little deeper. So there have been mentions of roles that are not in particularly sought out as Christian roles, and not meant for Christian people. So what was your process of hearing some of those or reading some of those comments about Christians or believers, they aren't supposed to take certain roles because of their beliefs?
So I guess this was my thing. As I was growing up and thinking about roles that I would do, you know, I would ask myself like, okay, would I do a nudity role? Would I do a love scene? But for me, it was always like, well, it depends on what the story is. Like, if this is porn, then no, I would not do that. But if this is something that can eventually help somebody or whatever the case is, then I'm like, I might consider it, you know. And so when it came, that was my mindset before I even knew that I was going to do this film, to be honest. Like, I was probably back in Florida when I was thinking about this stuff. So I think because of that, when this thing came around, like, I think I was mentally prepared for a role like this. Like, maybe my mind was mentally preparing for a role like this. Now I get that, you know, Christians shouldn't. I get that concept of not doing all types of roles. But I think for me, when it came to this in particular, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, when I read the script, I was like, you know, this could have easily been my story. Because only a couple of things made this not be my story, if that makes any sense. Like the way I was raised, of course, and, you know, my relationship with God. But if I didn't have those two things, if I took those two things away from my life, like, I probably could have been this girl making this type of decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had some hard times, you know, and again, like, this isn't the first time I saw a nudity role, or this isn't the first time where you see, you know, opportunities for you to be a stripper or whatever the case is. So, you know, and I guess that was my thing for me. I'm like, you know, as an actor, for me, I am portraying humans, you know, and I get that this human isn't necessarily me or like what I stand for, what I would do in my personal life, but this still represents somebody that's really in this lifestyle, you know. And for me, I feel like as I took the role and as I kind of opened my mind to this whole idea, and even like I said, even just addressing the elephant in the room of being a Christian woman taking a role, and how else can I say, like part of me has been feeling like I need to defend it for some reason as well. So I've been like mentally preparing for that and stuff. So these are just some of the things I've been battling with or trying to figure out throughout my process of doing the film, and now that it's about to be released and stuff like that. And so, I mean, I get that, but I feel like at the same time too, I feel like does this platform too, y'all, like, I feel like Christians need to be out open and honest about stuff. Like, let's not pretend that Christians don't have sex. You know what I mean? Like, let's not pretend that, like, some women are truly in this lifestyle. They may be leaving Christ, but they may be in a hard time, or they may be whatever the case is, you know, and they still need grace and mercy just like I need grace and mercy, you know. And I felt led to take the role. Now, I know that might sound weird to people, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunities that have come my way or whatever the case is, and there's a lot of doors that are closed, and there's a lot of doors that are open and things like that. I feel like at the end of the day, if God really, really didn't want me to do it, them doors would have been closed. And because he had no problem closing no other doors. So that's one part. But then also, like, you know, again, I think for me, taking on the role and for her to pick me in the role is only going to open the door of what things I'm doing now. Like, I mean, you know, I'm in discussions with like organizations that are helping women in this real life situation, using this platform, God, Sex, and Love, to even address this, you know, whatever else God leads me to do by being in this film. I just feel like, I mean, honestly, if I wasn't in the film, I probably wouldn't have been talking about no stripping. You know what I'm saying? If I keep it real, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have been talking about helping no ladies. You know? I mean, not to be like, not to say they don't need it, but I'm saying my mind wouldn't have been on it, is what I'm saying. My mind would have probably been on something else. But my involvement in this film opened my eyes to that, yo, this lifestyle it's real. And not even just that, y'all. Like, let's be real, man. Let's be all the way honest. Like, man, a lot of TV shows have women that are in this lifestyle, okay? Like, they can get a role in a major film or something before I can. 10 year plus of acting out the window. These women, they're already on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like, they already have lifestyles that are, you know, quote unquote, financial or whatever the case is, you know? So it's like, and then they're gonna tell someone the opposite. They're gonna tell, like, at the end of the day, I could say that, okay, I allow myself to step into this role, and I understand that real people are making these type of decisions, and hopefully by me having conversations about it, or by me involving myself with organizations or whatever the case is, I can show people even through the role that, hey, young girl, you know, as you can see, this character I portrayed, she was depressed. She was struggling. She decided to do this. Look at where this went for her. You know what I mean? Imagine that for you, and then make a different decision, you know? Because some like, I didn't have to make that decision. I didn't have to have nobody talk to me about that. But there's some girls that might need that, especially now in the days of WAP, and in the days where these type of women and all this stuff is being celebrated. Like, you know what I mean? This is being put out here.
Let's not talk about that. Let's just throw that out the way right now. Lord have mercy. Jesus, take the wheel.
But like, let's be honest though. Like, this is being put out here as a real legit options for young women. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I get my involvement in it, maybe weird. I get that, you know, being a Christian woman, I probably shouldn't. But at the same time, too, I'm like, you know what I saw in this?
It's like I said a couple of weeks ago. Back then, that's how they did things. Everything was behind closed doors, and nothing was spoken of. And to now, where everything is open, is, you know, you speak about it, and it's kind of good because you get to see like what's really going on and not be blindsided. I want to know. Let me, you know, in this scene that you played with your dad, you know, me and my dad, my dad lives with me, so, you know, it's just like, again, you think, what if I had went that route? You know, what really would have happened? And to watch a movie, it's like, and when I look at shows on TV, and I think that'd be like, wow, you know, what if that was me? You know, what if I did something like that? What if my life went that direction instead of this direction? So I just think it's neat. I think it's cool that you made that decision. When it came back around to you again that second time, because sometimes we get that first whiff and we be like, nah, and then it comes back again and you like, you know what? to do this because he's telling me something. He's telling me something for a reason, and I have to listen. And that's some of the problems with people. Some people, they don't get it. They don't, what's the right word I want to say? When something comes to them the first time and they back off from it, and then it comes at them again and they still backing off, and it's like, yo, how many times he gonna put it in front of you for you to just not accept it or just do it? He's telling you it, he's showing it to you, so hey, doors open, go. If that's what you feel, if you feel in your mind that it's going to help somebody else, then I'm like, hey, go for it.
And see that, and that's my thing. And I get that may be weird for people. You know what I mean? Like they might not understand that. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well, let's say I'm wrong, right? Let's say
listen, that's them people with this kind of mind.
Because your love has set me free. I'm alive. Yeah, believe in me.
Thank you all so much for watching God, Sex, and Love today. Oh my goodness, the hot seat was hot, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about the movie Strip, you can go to stripfeature.com and stay on the lookout for us because we're going to be at the Peachtree Village International Film Festival from October the 29th through November the 1st.